Hey folks, it's Maxie here and welcome to another TW episode. Today with AEW we are doing our go home show for the Blood and Guts pay-per-view. Well, for Dynamite at least, the Dynamite brand. So we're covering probably half the card today. I still won't reveal the full card until after Lightning in the next episode. But by God, I am hyped for this event. There's a temptation to put the boosts on to try and go for a 100 score, but I feel like it's probably best not to spend too much money unnecessary, so we can just allow the company to grow. So we'll see how that goes near the time. But anyway, plenty of angles today, plenty of matches. Let's do it. This is this week's AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite. So 14,000 sellout at the University of Dayton Arena. Pre-show matches as always on Dark. Tommy End defeats Laredo Kid in 7:54 with an Awari Death foot stomp. That gathered a pretty respectable 69. Tommy End with a 74 performance. We had Priscilla Kelly defeat Kiera Hogan in 7:44 by pinfall. That was a 47. We had Shotzi Blackheart defeat Cassie in 8:28 with the Fright Night, a 50. Cassie wasn't willing to do the job until Shotzi cracked her knuckles and intimidated Cassie. We had a spectacular bout between Pentagon Jr. and Rey Mysterio, with Penta winning in 8:23 with a top rope styles clash, giving us a 71. We had Will Hobbs defeat Marco Stunt in 7:40 by pinfall, a 36. We had to protect Marco Stunt here, which was laughable, but we need to get Hobbs over, and obviously he's not going over too much on the dark matches. We kind of do need to get him onto the actual main shows to get people witnessing Will Hobbs. And our main event actually wasn't too great, a 70 here. Decent pre-show bout. Nakamura defeats Ricky Starks in 7:39 with Simone Driver. They don't click and it made for an awkward bout. On to Dynamite, and we have our matchmaker Mick Foley have Chris Jericho and Tommy End out for a contract signing for Blood and Guts. Jericho signs the contract, Tommy End signs the contract. They both stare off each other, and Tommy End just says, "No point in attacking you just now, Chris, because I'm going to kick your head off at Blood and Guts." So in 80 there, could this be the end of Chris Jericho? Moving along then, we had a terrible matchup. The Good Brothers defeated Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela in 6:12 when Doc Gallows pinned Joey Janela with a bicycle kick. A 57 here. Overall, pretty decent, does its job, storytelling match, and gives the Good Brothers a victory on their in-ring debut, effectively. After the matchup, they just say it's a shame what happened to the Lucha Brothers. They might not make it to their match against Proud and Powerful come the pay-per-view. If that is the case, then Gallows and Anderson, the Good Brothers, are more than happy to step in and become a roadblock for Proud and Powerful. So that's a 63. We'd about had decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling. Jurassic Express defeating War Machine in 10:19 with Luchasaurus pinning Hansen. I'm very happy with this one, a 71. This was really just to give Luchasaurus some in-ring time before the pay-per-view, as Jurassic Express pick up a good victory. And after the matchup, they just say Luchasaurus is back. He may be 14 million whatever years old, but he is ready to go, and I don't think that Garza Jr. and Humberto Garza are quite prepared for what he is about to unleash upon them. Then have some montages just of the return of Lance Archer. He'll be back in about 10 days, so not next week's Dynamite, but possibly the week after. So that's a 69, a small showcase of him getting ready to return. We then had a very good wrestling match with a decent reaction from the crowd as Miro defeats Pete Dunne in 14:07 by submission. This was because Pete Dunne was attacked in the match by the Bullet Club / Elites, Prince, Devitt, because that's kind of two factions merged into one. But yep, Devitt causing the distraction, Pete Dunne distracted, and Miro with a massive victory, 77. After this, Miro calls out Hangman. Hangman comes out, no Hangman posse behind him. The two of them just start brawling, and it takes lots of road agents, lots of enhancement workers to tear them away from each other. this TNT Championship match is going to be explosive, and it's going to be Miro challenging Hangman Adam Page. We then had a backstage assault on Riho. Shayna Baszler alongside her tag team of Daria Varnado and Layla Hirsch beat down one half of the tag team champions and leave her down and out before Hikaru Shida can get to the rescue. So that was a 61. We then had a matchup that saw a decent reaction from the crowd but subpar wrestling, with Kairi, Hojo and Toni Storm defeating the champion Mercedes Varnado and the mixed tag champion Anna Jay in 12:26 when Kairi pinned the champ Mercedes Varnado with a spear. Anna Jay is a weak link here, which is a bit worrying, only at 53, but to be fair, this was because her Mercedes didn't click, so you'd imagine Anna would be the 60s and Mercedes maybe even would reach a 70 performance. But overall, a 67 overall shows the progress we're making in our women's division, and Mercedes is under a little bit of a threat come Saturday night. After the matchup, she's raging, she has a temper tantrum, and she also delivers her best segment of the night, an 87. Fair play Mercedes. Will she get her head together for that matchup against Kairi Hojo, with of course Bayley lurking in the rafters? It'll be intriguing to see how that one goes down. Then at the bout they had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, and it showed MJF defeating Matt Sydal in 8:25 with a Swanton Bomb. A 71 here, a 46 for Matt Sydal, and a perfect score of 100 for MJF. Both guys with great chemistry, MJF shone and looks like $1 million. He cuts a promo after it just saying he was a bit frustrated that Darby Allin was able to get victories over Mark Quinn and Ricky Starks, really hampering the momentum of the uprising. But MJF is at the top of that food chain alongside Wardlow, and Darby Allin is nowhere near that level. And that was an 81. So naturally Darby Allin comes out and attacks MJF, beats him down, and before Wardlow can get his hands on him, he escapes from him. So obviously, Darby Allin MJF, that's one match that is going to be happening at Blood and Guts. Cannot wait for that one. 78. Their main event for the evening actually over-delivered. Very shocked at that. It was an bout that had superb wrestling and great heat. Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles defeated Prince Devitt and Kenny Omega in 22:30 when AJ pinned Prince Devitt using a foreign object. AJ the weak link because of his a wee bit lackey overness and of course his physical decline. That's why I was a bit surprised we got the 88, but I felt like with AJ pinning Prince Devitt, AJ can get closer to being 80 over, and we can maybe even manipulate his overness to get him back into the main event scene. But delighted with that one. As I say, you'll have probably AJ, physical decline there, so we might actually get him in a good position before we will have to slowly but surely drop him properly down the card. And we finish the show with all 8 men that's going to be in Blood and Guts brawling. So that's going to be Cody Rhodes, Ace Austin, AJ Styles, Pete Dunne from the New Age Horsemen against the Elite Bullet Club, whatever you want to call them, Kenny Omega, Prince Devitt and the Young Bucks, and they brawl until we go off the air. So that's going to be 4v4, that is our main event I believe. Well, it should be because our world champion's involved in it. So risky, but hopefully it delivers and the crowd go home crazy. Overall rating was an 85 and that increased their popularity in 12 regions, so really happy with that. And that's covered off half of the card that we'll have at Blood and Guts, but of course we'll unveil the full card in the next episode. We'll just quickly drop back into the main screen. Fantastic reviews. Big Show stays with WWE. I was tempted because obviously moved in real life. Well, that's disgusting. Unfortunately, this mod obviously was created way before the speaking out, so we'll not even just address that, we'll just carry on. That's the reason why that's happened. Sonya Deville signs a new 2-year contract on a handshake deal, and El Phantasmo gets a 75% increase. So just telling us about Big Show, because I've got every WWE worker shortlisted, to see when their contracts are up. Drug testing 7,000 and 5,000 and a 3.53 for Dynamite. But that's us for this episode. We're going to move on and do Lightning, and then the episode after that will be Blood and Guts. And a quick rundown of heels: Priscilla Kelly over Nikki Storm, Thunder Rosa over Bea Priestley, Britt Baker over Riho, and Anna Jay over Mia Yim. So thanks for watching, take it easy, enjoy the rest of your day. Wee thumbs up appreciated. Any comments on this, and your own saves or wrestling in general, let me know. I'll get back to you as soon as I can, and until next time, 21 Maxwell, see you soon. Bye bye.